Some of you have been walking around carrying yesterday like it is a backpack full of bricks. You are dragging last year, last month, and last week everywhere you go. And I am here to tell you that you have got to put that down. The fact that you opened your eyes this morning means the universe is giving you another shot. God is giving you another chance. Do not waste it by living in what already happened. You know how many people went to sleep last night and did not wake up this morning. You know how many people would give anything to have the problems you are complaining about right now. They would trade places with you in a heartbeat because at least you still have breath in your lungs. At least you still have a chance to turn things around. That alone should make you grateful enough to get up and do something meaningful with this day. I talk to people all the time who are so focused on what they lost that they cannot see what they still have. They are missing opportunities that passed while fresh ones are knocking at the door. Every sunrise is a reset button that most people ignore. They wake up and immediately start replaying the same negative thoughts from yesterday. They carry the same grudges, the same fears, the same doubts into a brand new day that deserves better than that. When you truly understand that today is a gift, you start treating it differently. You stop wasting hours on things that do not matter. You stop giving energy to people who drain you. You stop scrolling through your phone like you have unlimited tomorrows. You start moving with intention because you recognize that this moment right here is precious and it is not promised to come again. I have seen people transform their entire lives simply by changing how they view each morning. Instead of waking up dreading the day, they wake up expecting something good to happen. Instead of focusing on everything that could go wrong, they look for what could go right. That shift in perspective does not cost you anything, but it can pay you everything. Some of you need to stop hitting the snooze button on your life. You have been putting off your dreams, your goals, and your healing for way too long. Every day you delay is a day you will never get back. And I am not trying to scare you. I am trying to wake you up to the urgency of living fully while you still can. The opportunity in front of you right now might not look like much. It might seem small or insignificant, but small opportunities have a way of opening doors to bigger ones when you treat them with respect. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can, and watch how quickly things begin to shift in your favor. I do not care what you did. I do not care what happened to you. I do not care how bad you messed up or how many times you fell flat on your face. That was then. We're talking about it right now. Your history is supposed to teach you something, not chain you to a wall of regret. Some of the most successful people you admire have stories that would make you cry. They just learned how to use their pain as fuel instead of an excuse. The past has a way of whispering lies to you if you let it. It tells you that because you failed before, you will fail again. It tells you that because someone hurt you, everyone will hurt you. It tells you that because things did not work out last time, they will never work out. Those are lies designed to keep you stuck in a prison that does not even have walls. I have met millionaires who used to be homeless. I have met happily married couples who went through devastating divorces before finding each other. I have met healthy, vibrant people who were once addicted and broken beyond recognition. Their past did not determine their future because they refused to let it. They took those experiences and turned them into wisdom that guided them forward. Your mistakes are not your identity. Read that again in your mind. Your mistakes are not your identity. They are events that happened along your journey. They are lessons you had to learn, sometimes the hard way. But they do not define who you are or who you can become. The only way your past becomes a life sentence is if you keep pleading guilty to crimes you have already served time for. Some of you are still punishing yourselves for things that happened years ago. You are still carrying shame about decisions you made when you did not know any better. You have to forgive yourself the same way you would forgive someone you love. You have to extend that same grace and understanding to your own heart. You did the best you could with what you knew at the time. Learning from your past means extracting the lesson and leaving the pain behind. It means asking yourself what that experience taught you and how it made you stronger. It means recognizing that even the worst moments of your life prepared you for something greater. The setback was setting you up for a comeback you cannot even imagine yet. Every successful person has a chapter in their story that they do not read out loud in public. Every person you look up to has been through something that almost broke them. The difference is that they did not let that chapter become the whole book. They turned the page. They started a new chapter. And that is exactly what you have the power to do right now. I have met people who are so stuck in what was that they cannot see what could be. They are living life looking through the rearview mirror, wondering why they keep crashing. You have to turn your head around and look through the windshield. The windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror for a reason. Where you are going matters more than where you have been. There is a difference between reflecting on the past and being trapped by it. Reflection is healthy. It helps you learn and grow. But obsession with what happened keeps you paralyzed and unable to move forward. Some of you are reading the same painful chapter over and over again, expecting the ending to change. It is not going to change. What happened already happened. The only thing that can change now is what you do next. I know people who talk about the same breakup from 10 years ago like it happened yesterday. I know people who are still bitter about a job they lost 2 decades ago. I know people who cannot stop bringing up what their parents did or did not do for them as children. And while those feelings are valid, staying in that space forever is stealing the life you could be living right now. Your next chapter has new characters, new opportunities, and new blessings waiting for you. But you cannot meet them if you refuse to leave the old chapter behind. Imagine reading the most amazing book, but getting stuck on chapter 3 because something sad happened. You would miss the whole rest of the story. That is what you are doing with your life when you will not let go. The people who hurt you have moved on. The situation that broke your heart has passed. The failure that embarrassed you is old news to everyone except you. The only person still holding on to it is the person staring back at you in the mirror. And you deserve better than to be held hostage by something that no longer exists. Turning the page takes courage because the unknown is scary. At least the old chapter is familiar, even if it is painful. But familiarity is not the same as fulfillment. You can be comfortable and miserable at the same time. You can know exactly what to expect and still hate every minute of it. Growth requires you to step into uncertainty with faith that better things are ahead. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the next chapter of your life. Imagine it being everything you have ever wanted. Imagine the relationships being healthy, the finances being stable, and the peace being real. That chapter exists. It is written and waiting for you. But you have to close the old one first. You have to say goodbye to what was so you can say hello to what will be. Before you can reset anything, you have to be real about where you are. Stop pretending. Stop acting like everything is fine when it is not. Stop lying to yourself about your situation. Look in the mirror and have an honest conversation. Say, I am not where I want to be, but I am ready to do what it takes to get there. That honesty right there is the foundation of every great comeback story. Most people cannot change because they will not admit they need to. They keep telling themselves and everyone else that things are good when things are falling apart. They post happy pictures on social media while crying themselves to sleep at night. They pretend to have it all together while secretly drowning in debt, depression, or dysfunction. That mask might fool other people, but it will never fool you. The first person you have to stop lying to is yourself. When you look in the mirror, tell the truth. If you are broke, admit you are broke. If you are lonely, admit you are lonely. If you are scared, admit you are scared. If you have been making poor decisions, own it. This is not about beating yourself up. This is about getting clear on where you are starting from so you know what needs to change. You cannot get directions to where you want to go if you lie about where you currently are. Imagine calling for help and giving the wrong location. Nobody can find you. Nobody can assist you. You stay lost because your pride would not let you tell the truth about your situation. That is what happens when you refuse to be honest about your life. I have seen people stay stuck for years because admitting the truth felt too painful. They would rather suffer in silence than acknowledge they made mistakes. They would rather keep up appearances than ask for help. And all that did was prolong their pain and delay their breakthrough. The moment they got honest was the moment things started to shift. Being honest with yourself also means acknowledging your strengths, not just your weaknesses. Some of you are so focused on what is wrong that you forget what is right. You have gifts you are not using. You have talents you are not developing. You have a purpose you are not pursuing. Part of the reset is recognizing all of who you are, the struggles and the strengths. When you stand in truth, you stand in power. There is no more hiding, no more pretending, no more exhausting yourself trying to keep up a facade. You can finally breathe. You can finally focus your energy on actual change instead of image management. The reset begins the moment you decide that being real is more important than looking good. This is where a lot of people get stuck. They want to blame their mama. They want to blame their daddy. They want to blame the economy, the government, their ex, their boss, their neighborhood. And while all of those things might have played a part, you are the only one who can change your situation. When you take responsibility, you take back your power. As long as you are blaming someone else, you are giving them control over your destiny. I understand that life is not fair. I understand that some people had advantages you did not have. I understand that some people did you wrong and it was not your fault. All of that can be true at the same time as this. You are still responsible for what you do from this point forward. You cannot control what happened to you, but you can control how you respond to it. Blame is comfortable because it takes the pressure off you. If everything is someone else's fault, then you do not have to change anything about yourself. You can just sit there pointing fingers and feeling justified in your stagnation. But that comfort is a trap. It feels good in the moment, but it costs you everything in the long run. I have watched people waste their entire lives waiting for an apology that never came. They spent decades being bitter towards someone who was not even thinking about them. They gave that person power over their happiness, their success, and their peace. And for what? The person who hurt you has probably moved on while you are still stuck in that moment. Taking responsibility does not mean taking blame for things that were not your fault. It means taking ownership of your healing, your growth, and your future. It means saying that even though I did not cause this, I am going to be the one who fixes it. It means refusing to let your circumstances define your destiny. When you take responsibility, something shifts inside of you. You stop feeling like a victim and start feeling like a victor. You stop waiting for someone to save you and start saving yourself. You stop complaining about the cards you were dealt and start learning how to play them better. That shift in mindset is the difference between people who make it and people who do not. The most successful people I know all have one thing in common. They stopped blaming and started building. They stopped making excuses and started making moves. They looked at their situation, no matter how difficult, and said, this is my life, and I am going to make something beautiful out of it. That decision changed everything for them, and it can change everything for you. Look around you. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Those 5 people are a preview of your future. If they are going nowhere, guess where you are headed. If they are negative, broke, unmotivated, and stuck in the same patterns, you are going to absorb that energy whether you want or not. You have to upgrade your circle. It does not mean you love people less. It means you love yourself enough to protect your vision. Energy is transferable. You pick it up from the people around you like a sponge picks up water. If you spend your time around people who complain constantly, you will find yourself complaining more. If you spend your time around people who gossip and tear others down, you will find yourself doing the same thing. And if you spend your time around people who are ambitious, positive, and growing, you will start to rise with them. Some relationships have expiration dates, and that is okay. Not everyone who started the journey with you is supposed to finish it with you. Some people were in your life for a season, to teach you something or help you through a certain phase. But holding on to them past their season can actually slow you down and hold you back from who you are becoming. I know it is hard to let go of people you have known for years. I know it feels like betrayal to distance yourself from friends and even family. But you have to ask yourself a serious question. Are these relationships adding to my life or subtracting from it? Are these people helping me grow or helping me stay stuck? The honest answer might hurt, but it will also set you free. You do not have to have a dramatic falling out with everyone who is not going where you are going. Sometimes you can just create distance naturally. You stop calling as much. You stop going to the same places. You start filling your time with people and activities that align with your new direction. The old relationships will either evolve with you or fade away on their own. Start seeking out people who challenge you to be better. Find mentors who have already achieved what you are working toward. Join communities where growth and positivity are the norm. Put yourself in rooms where you are the least accomplished person so you have something to reach for. Your environment shapes you more than you realize. The right circle will celebrate your wins without jealousy. They will hold you accountable when you slip. They will speak life into your dreams even when you doubt yourself. They will push you, support you, and believe in you. That kind of circle does not just happen by accident. You have to intentionally build it. And you have to be that kind of person for others too. Vision is everything. I am not talking about some vague idea of success. I am talking about a clear, detailed picture of where you want to be. You have to know what kind of house you want, what kind of business you want to build, what kind of person you want to become. If you cannot see it, you cannot create it. Spend time every single day visualizing your future as if it already happened. Train your mind to believe it is possible. Most people are walking through life blind to their own potential. They have never sat down and really imagined what their ideal life looks like. They just take whatever comes their way and call it fate. But the people who achieve great things do not leave their lives to chance. They design them intentionally. They create a vision so vivid that it pulls them forward even when times get tough. When I talk about vision, I mean getting specific. Do not just say you want to be successful. Define what success means to you. Do not just say you want to be happy. Describe what happiness looks like in your daily life. The more details you can add to your vision, the more real it becomes in your mind. And when it becomes real in your mind, your actions start to align with it automatically. Visualization is not some mystical practice reserved for spiritual gurus. It is a practical tool used by athletes, entrepreneurs, and high performers across every field. They see themselves winning before they step onto the field. They see themselves closing the deal before they walk into the meeting. They see themselves as healthy and strong before they start the workout. That mental rehearsal prepares them to perform at their highest level. Your brain cannot always tell the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you visualize your success repeatedly, your brain starts to believe it has already happened. It begins to look for evidence to support that belief. It notices opportunities you would have missed before. It gives you the confidence to take actions you would have been too scared to take otherwise. Some of you have been so focused on what you do not want that you have never clarified what you do want. You know you do not want to be broke, but have you imagined what abundance really feels like? You know you do not want to be lonely, but have you pictured what a loving relationship looks like? You have to shift your focus from avoidance to attraction. Stop running from pain and start running toward purpose. Create a vision board if you need to. Write a letter to yourself from your future self describing your life 5 years from now. Record yourself speaking your vision out loud and listen to it every morning. Do whatever it takes to keep that picture in front of you constantly. Because when the vision is clear, the path starts to reveal itself. And before you know it, you are living the life you once only dreamed about. I do not care what you believe in, but you have to believe in something bigger than yourself. Because there are going to be days when you cannot see the next step. There are going to be moments when logic tells you to quit. That is when faith takes over. Faith is not about having all the answers. Faith is about trusting that the answers will come when you need them. You have to walk by faith and not by sight. There will be gaps in your journey that you cannot cross with skill alone. There will be moments when you have done everything you know to do, and it still seems like things are not working. That is not the time to panic. That is the time to lean into something greater than your own understanding. That is when you have to trust that the process is working even when you cannot see the progress. I have been in situations where the math did not make sense. On paper, there was no way things should have worked out, but they did. And the only explanation I have is that something beyond my ability stepped in and made a way. Call it God, call it the universe, call it whatever resonates with you. But there is a power that shows up when you combine effort with faith. Faith does not mean you sit around doing nothing and wait for miracles to fall from the sky. Faith is active. You do the work, you make the calls, you put in the hours, and then you trust that your efforts will be multiplied by something beyond yourself. It is the combination of action and belief that creates the magic. You cannot have one without the other. Some of you have lost your faith because things did not happen when you wanted them to. You prayed, you hoped, you believed, and then life disappointed you. I understand that pain. But sometimes the delays and detours are protection. Sometimes what you thought you wanted was not what you actually needed. Sometimes faith means trusting the timing, even when it does not make sense to your human mind. When you are standing at the edge of a cliff and the bridge to the other side is invisible, faith is what allows you to take that first step. And it is only after you step that the bridge appears beneath your feet. That is how faith works. It rewards action even in uncertainty. It honors courage even when you are trembling inside. Developing faith is like developing a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start with small acts of trust. Watch how things work out. Then take bigger leaps. Watch how you are caught. Over time, you build a relationship with faith that becomes unshakable. You have evidence from your own life that when you believe and act, something always shows up to help you across. Growth does not happen in your comfort zone. It happens when you stretch yourself beyond what you think you can handle. Every time you feel nervous, scared, or unsure, that is a sign you are about to level up. Stop running from discomfort. Run toward it. That is where your breakthrough is hiding. The butterfly has to struggle out of the cocoon. The struggle is what gives it strength to fly. Everything you want is on the other side of something you do not want to do. You want a fit body, but you do not want the early morning workouts. You want the successful business, but you do not want the rejection and failure that come first. You want the deep relationship, but you do not want the vulnerability and hard conversations. You have to accept that discomfort is the price of admission for the life you desire. Your brain is wired to keep you safe, and it interprets anything unfamiliar as a threat. That is why you feel resistance when you try to do something new. That is why fear shows up every time you think about taking a big leap. Your brain is just doing its job, but you have to override that programming if you want to evolve. You have to feel the fear and move forward anyway. I know people who have spent their entire lives avoiding anything that made them uncomfortable. And guess what? They are in the same place they were 20 years ago. No growth, no progress, no adventure. Just the same boring, predictable routine day after day. Is that really living? Or is that just existing while pretending to be alive? The most successful people I know are addicted to discomfort. They seek out challenges on purpose. They take on projects that scare them. They have conversations they would rather avoid. They put themselves in situations where failure is possible because they understand that is the only way to grow. They have learned to associate discomfort with progress instead of danger. Start small if you need to. Do one thing every day that makes you slightly uncomfortable. Speak up in a meeting when you would normally stay quiet. Introduce yourself to someone new. Ask for what you want instead of hoping people will read your mind. Send that message. Make that call. Take that class. Each small act of courage builds your tolerance for bigger ones. The discomfort you feel right now is temporary, but the growth you gain from pushing through it is permanent. Think about that. A few minutes, hours, or weeks of unease in exchange for a lifetime of expansion. That is a trade worth making every single time. Stop letting temporary discomfort steal your permanent potential. Get comfortable being uncomfortable and watch your life transform. What you do every day matters more than what you do once in a while. Success is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice. What time do you wake up? What do you read? Who do you talk to? What do you feed your mind? Are you exercising? Are you praying? Are you planning? Small disciplines repeated every single day lead to massive results over time. Start treating your daily routine like the blueprint for your dreams. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year. They try to change everything at once, get overwhelmed, and quit within a week. But the people who actually transform their lives understand the power of incremental progress. They focus on getting 1% better each day and trust that the compounding effect will take care of the rest. Your habits are either moving you toward your goals or away from them. There is no neutral. Every hour you spend on your phone scrolling through content that does not serve you is an hour taken away from something that could. Every night you stay up late doing nothing is energy stolen from your tomorrow. Every meal you eat either fuels your body or drains it. Everything counts. I want you to take an honest look at your average day. Write down everything you do from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep. Then look at that list and ask yourself if that schedule belongs to someone who is going where you say you want to go. The answer will tell you everything you need to know about why you are stuck or why you are progressing. Building good habits is not about willpower. It is about systems. It is about setting up your environment so the right choice is the easy choice. Put your running shoes by the bed so you see them first thing in the morning. Delete the apps that waste your time. Keep healthy food visible and junk food out of sight. Prepare the night before so you do not have to make decisions when you are tired. Make success automatic. Bad habits do not disappear overnight, and good habits do not form instantly. It takes repetition and patience. It takes failing and trying again. It takes grace for yourself when you slip up and commitment to get right back on track. The goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency, because consistent imperfect action will always beat inconsistent perfect intention. The beautiful thing about habits is that they eventually become effortless. What feels hard today will feel natural in a few months. What requires discipline now will become automatic later. You just have to push through the awkward beginning phase until it becomes part of who you are. And once it does, you will not have to think about it anymore. Your daily routine will carry you toward your destiny without any extra effort. When you decide to change your life, not everybody is going to celebrate with you. Some people will laugh at your goals. Some will try to discourage you. Some will wait for you to fail so they can say, "I told you so." Let them talk. Their opinion of you is not your reality. Critics are usually just spectators who are too afraid to get in the arena themselves. Keep moving forward regardless of who is watching or what they are saying. The moment you announce that you are doing something different, you become a threat to people who are committed to staying the same. Your ambition makes them uncomfortable because it shines a light on their own inaction. Instead of looking in the mirror and dealing with their own stuff, they find it easier to point at you and try to tear you down. That says everything about them and nothing about you. I have never met a successful person who did not have haters along the way. In fact, the more successful they became, the more criticism they received. That is just how it works. When you are doing nothing, nobody notices you. When you start rising, everybody has an opinion. You have to decide right now that you are going to keep climbing regardless of who is yelling from the ground. Some of the criticism will come from the people closest to you. That is the hardest part. Your own family members might doubt you. Your closest friends might question your sanity. The people who are supposed to support you might be the very ones trying to hold you back. But remember that their doubt is not your destiny. They are speaking from their own fears and limitations, not from the truth about who you are. Learn to filter the voices in your life. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every criticism deserves a response. Ask yourself if this person has achieved what you are trying to achieve. If not, their advice is probably not worth taking. Seek guidance from people who have been where you want to go, not from people who have never left where you are trying to escape. Use the criticism as fuel instead of letting it become a fire that burns you down. Every time someone says you cannot do it, let that be motivation to prove them wrong. Every time someone counts you out, let that be a reason to go harder. Some of the greatest success stories in history were written by people who were told they would never make it. They took that negativity and transformed it into determination. At the end of the day, you are not living your life for the critics. You are living it for yourself, for your family, for your purpose. When you close your eyes for the last time, those critics will not be standing beside you. Their opinions will not matter at all. The only thing that will matter is whether you live fully, whether you tried boldly, and whether you became who you were meant to be. Stop letting small minds talk you out of a big future. The best investment you will ever make is in your own growth. Buy the books, take the courses, attend the seminars, hire the coach, learn the new skill. Whatever it costs, pay the price. When you invest in yourself, you increase your value. And when you increase your value, opportunities start finding you instead of you chasing them. Most people have no problem spending money on things that depreciate. They will buy clothes that they only wear once. They will spend hundreds on nights out that they barely remember. They will finance cars and gadgets that lose value the moment they drive off the lot. But ask them to invest in a course that could change their career, and suddenly they cannot afford it. Your mind is the most valuable asset you own. It is the one thing that can never be taken from you. Everything you pour into it stays with you forever. Every book you read, every skill you learn, every mentor you listen to adds to your internal wealth. And that wealth cannot be taxed, stolen, or lost in a market crash. It goes with you everywhere and appreciates over time. I do not care where you are starting from financially. There are ways to invest in yourself at every level. Libraries exist. Podcasts are free. YouTube has more educational content than you could consume in a lifetime. Start wherever you are with whatever you have access to. The information is not the barrier. Your commitment to seeking it out is what determines whether you grow or stay stagnant. When you invest in yourself, you are sending a message to your subconscious that you are worth it. You are saying that you believe in your potential enough to put resources behind it. That belief alone can change how you carry yourself, how you show up, and what you attract. People can sense when someone has invested in their own development. It shows in your confidence and your competence. Stop waiting until you feel ready to invest in your growth. You will never feel completely ready. The act of investing is what makes you ready. Sign up for the course before you know how you will finish it. Buy the book before you know when you will read it. Commit to the coaching program before you see how it will pay off. That leap of faith is part of the investment. The return on investment